Hi, I'm Megan Hoffman, a Technology Integration Specialist with the Southwest West Central Service Cooperative. Today, I would like to take a quick look at different fonts that may make texts more accessible to others. As you can see on this slide, I have used nearly every font that automatically came with my Google account. It makes it hard to read. A couple of tips to increase readability. 1. Use the same font family for your whole document. And 2. Use simpler fonts, especially for body text. As I was looking into this topic, I found these 5 questions to ask when examining fonts. 1. When you type an uppercase I, a lowercase l, and the number 1, do they look the same? That can be really confusing. 2. Do some letters, specifically D, B, P, and Q, look like mirror images? 3. Do the lowercase c, e, and o look similar? What about the uppercase C, O, and the number 0? 4. Is the lowercase a written the same way that students are learning to write it? And 5. Are letters spaced a good distance apart? Check words that have the letters R and N next to each other. Do they run together and look like an M? Of course, there are many other considerations, but these are 5 quick things you can check. The Arial font is usually the default font in Google applications. However, you can see that I, L, and 1 look quite similar. Also, D and B both have the little line at the bottom, just like P and Q both have the little line at the top, making them mirror images. The C and the E both curve in at their ends, making them more similar to an O than in other fonts. The lowercase a is not the same as what most students learn to write. So while Arial has been designed to be an easy font to read, it isn't fancy. There might be other fonts worth considering. Google designed the Lexend font to be more readable. We can see definite differences between the I, L, and number 1, but still see the mirror images for D, B, P, and Q. The C and E are more open at the end, making them a little more distinguishable. The lowercase a is written in a more common style, and you can make your own decision about the R and the N in corn. Google has a couple other fonts they designed to be more readable. You can add them to your Google applications by clicking on the font selector and choosing More Fonts. The fonts that Google promotes for readability are Andika and Atkinson Hyperlegible. Here's the process for adding fonts and a peek at what these 2 fonts look like. You can pause the video and evaluate the fonts with the 5 basic criteria I'm using in this video. The best way to know what works best with your students is to try different fonts and ask them what seems the best. Also note that some fonts work better on a device, specifically sans serif fonts, and others are better for printed material. Hint, look at the difference between the print in a physical newspaper and the fonts used on a news website. Another quick tip is to change the background color, or the paper color, behind the writing. Light green or blue background with black letters can sometimes help the reader distinguish the words more easily. For tips covering a variety of EdTech topics, head over to YouTube and check out the SWWC Tech Integration Teams channel. Remember to subscribe. And again, thanks for spending some time today evaluating the accessibility and readability of different fonts.